When it comes to powerful women, the journey begins with an intimate understanding of oneself. True strength does not come from others' approval, societal standards, or external validation. No, it comes from knowing, accepting, and embracing your authentic self. A powerful woman has a deep self-awareness that allows her to navigate life with clarity, focus, and purpose. She knows her strengths and her weaknesses, her desires and her fears. This knowledge is not superficial, it is rooted in introspection, reflection, and the courage to face the unvarnished truth of who she is. Self-awareness is the foundation of every action, every decision, and every relationship. When a woman knows herself, she understands what she will accept and what she will not. She sets boundaries with confidence because she is anchored in a sense of inner security. She does not bend to fit into roles or expectations that do not align with her values. She listens to her inner voice before she listens to the noise of the world. In a society that constantly pressures women to conform, the ability to remain steadfast in self-awareness is not just powerful, it is revolutionary. Moreover, self-awareness allows her to harness her emotions rather than be ruled by them. She recognizes when anger arises and chooses to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. She identifies when fear or doubt creeps in and transforms it into curiosity or determination. Her emotions are tools, not chains. A powerful woman understands that emotional intelligence is the compass that guides her through life's complexities. She cultivates mindfulness, meditation, and reflection, because she knows that the quiet moments of awareness strengthen her resilience and sharpen her focus. This self-awareness also extends to her ambitions and goals. She does not chase success blindly. She evaluates opportunities through the lens of her values, ensuring that every endeavor she undertakes aligns with her purpose. When she speaks, she does so with intention. When she acts, she does so with clarity. This level of consciousness attracts respect, admiration, and influence naturally, because people sense the depths of her understanding and the authenticity of her presence. Furthermore, a powerful woman's self-awareness gives her freedom from comparison. She understands that each journey is unique, and she does not measure her worth by the standards of others. She celebrates her milestones and learns from her mistakes without the burden of judgment. This freedom allows her to operate from a space of confidence and creativity, rather than fear or insecurity. She is not swayed by envy, jealousy, or societal pressures because her internal compass is unshakable. Self-awareness also empowers her relationships. When she interacts with others, she does so from a place of clarity, honesty, and empathy. She knows when to offer guidance, when to support, and when to step back. Her interactions are conscious, deliberate, and meaningful. She does not waste energy on trivial conflicts or performative interactions. Instead, she invests in connections that uplift, inspire, and nurture both herself and those around her. In the face of adversity, self-awareness becomes her shield. Life will challenge her with trials, betrayals, and setbacks. Yet, because she knows herself, she does not crumble. She recognizes that external chaos cannot disturb her inner sanctuary. She remains grounded, centered, and unwavering. Her self-awareness is a beacon of stability that not only guides her but also inspires others to seek their own inner clarity. Finally, self-awareness is the key to continuous growth. A powerful woman knows that knowing oneself is not a destination, it is a journey. She constantly reflects, learns, and evolves. She acknowledges her flaws without shame and celebrates her progress without arrogance. Every day is an opportunity to deepen her understanding, expand her perspective, and refine her purpose. In essence, the first sign of a powerful woman is self-awareness. It is the silent force behind her confidence, the invisible framework of her decisions, and the compass that guides her through life. Without it, no external power, wealth, or influence can provide true strength. With it, she becomes unstoppable. Remember, Powerful women are not defined by what the world sees, but by what they know within. They cultivate self-awareness as a sacred practice, as the ultimate form of self-respect, and as the foundation of their enduring power. When you witness a woman who knows herself deeply, you are witnessing a force that cannot be replicated, cannot be intimidated, and cannot be ignored. A powerful woman understands that true strength often requires walking a path that is uniquely her own. She does not follow the crowd, chase trends, or seek approval for her choices. Instead, she cultivates the courage to stand alone when necessary, embracing solitude as a source of clarity, resilience, and power. In a world where conformity is rewarded and difference is often questioned, standing alone is not a weakness, it is the ultimate demonstration of inner fortitude. The courage to stand alone begins with self-reliance. A powerful woman knows that her happiness, her success, and her sense of fulfillment cannot be delegated to others. She does not rely on someone else's validation to feel worthy. She takes responsibility for her own life, her own decisions, and her own path. This independence is not about isolation or arrogance. It is about mastering oneself and understanding that true power is born from within, not borrowed from outside sources. Standing alone also requires the strength to face judgment, criticism, and misunderstanding. When a woman chooses to act with integrity, authenticity, and purpose, she may encounter those who do not understand her choices. She may be questioned, doubted, or even rejected. Yet, she remains steadfast. Her confidence is not fragile. She does not bend to appease others or seek acceptance at the cost of her truth. Instead, she understands that external opinions do not define her, and she honors her own voice above the noise of the world. Embracing solitude is another essential aspect of this courage. Powerful women recognize that moments of quiet reflection are not a sign of loneliness, they are an opportunity to connect with their inner selves. In solitude, she can evaluate her goals, process her emotions, and gain insight that cannot be found amidst constant distraction. Solitude allows her to cultivate self-discipline, to focus her energy on meaningful pursuits, and to recharge her mental and emotional strength. She understands that the world will demand her attention, but she must first honor her inner world. Moreover, standing alone gives her clarity of purpose. Without the influence of external pressures, she can discern what truly matters to her. She can identify her goals, prioritize her time, and take deliberate steps toward her vision. When surrounded by the crowd, it is easy to be swayed, to compromise, or to dilute one's intentions. But a woman with the courage to stand alone does not allow the noise of others to dictate her direction. She moves forward with focus and intention, grounded in her own understanding of what is right for her life. Courage is also demonstrated in decision-making. A powerful woman does not shy away from difficult choices. She faces uncertainty with determination, knowing that the risk of standing alone is part of the journey toward growth and fulfillment. She does not wait for permission, nor does she seek consensus when her inner voice has already guided her. Her decisions are informed by wisdom, self-awareness, and clarity of values. In this way, standing alone becomes not a burden but a conscious act of strength, an affirmation of her agency and autonomy. In relationships, this courage manifests as healthy boundaries. She does not compromise her well-being to please others. She recognizes that saying no when necessary is a form of self-respect. She understands that true connection arises not from dependency but from mutual respect and understanding. By standing alone when needed, she protects her energy, her peace of mind, and her capacity to give and receive love authentically. Furthermore, standing alone does not equate to rejecting connection entirely. Rather, it is about knowing the difference between meaningful alliances and superficial associations. A powerful woman surrounds herself with people who support her growth, align with her values, and respect her individuality. She understands that not everyone will resonate with her path, and that is acceptable. The courage to stand alone allows her to attract the right relationships rather than settle for those that diminish her light. Adversity is another arena where this courage is revealed. Life will challenge her with betrayal, failure, and disappointment. In these moments, the world may turn cold and support may waver, yet a powerful woman does not crumble. She trusts her inner strength and leans into her own resilience. She knows that the ability to stand alone is what allows her to rise above hardship, to rebuild, and to thrive even when external support is absent. She becomes her own pillar, her own guide, and her own source of unwavering strength. This courage is not developed overnight. It is cultivated over time through consistent practice and conscious choice. Every time she chooses integrity over convenience, every time she chooses truth over approval, every time she chooses solitude over distraction, she reinforces her power. The more she stands alone, the more confident, resilient, and unshakable she becomes. Ultimately, the courage to stand alone allows her to live authentically. She does not conform to societal expectations or attempt to fit into molds that were never meant for her. Instead, she honors her uniqueness, her talents, and her vision. Her life becomes a reflection of her values, her choices, and her deliberate actions. She becomes a beacon of inspiration for others, demonstrating that power is not measured by popularity, influence, or external accolades, but by the willingness to remain true to oneself in every circumstance. In conclusion, the second sign of a powerful woman is the courage to stand alone. It is the inner strength that allows her to embrace solitude, maintain her independence, and navigate life with clarity and purpose. It is the quiet, steadfast force that keeps her grounded amidst challenges, criticism, and societal pressures. A woman who can stand alone is free, she is resilient, she is empowered, and in her solitude she discovers a power that no one can take away, a power that emanates from within, radiating outward and touching every aspect of her life. To be powerful is not merely to exist among others, it is to stand firmly in one's truth, to honor one's path, and to embrace solitude as a sacred space for growth and strength. Remember, the world may not always understand her choices, but a powerful woman does not seek understanding, she seeks alignment with herself. Her courage to stand alone is her silent declaration to the universe: she is whole, she is capable, and she is unstoppable. One of the most defining qualities of a powerful woman is her mastery over her own emotions. Emotional intelligence is not just a skill, it is a way of life. It is the ability to understand, regulate, and channel emotions in a way that fuels growth, resilience, and influence. A woman who masters emotional intelligence moves through life with a calm, steady presence that inspires respect, trust, and admiration. Her power is not loud or aggressive, it is subtle, profound, and magnetic. Emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness. A powerful woman observes her own feelings without judgment. She notices when anger, fear, or doubt arises, and she does not allow these emotions to control her actions. Instead, she interprets them as signals, understanding their origin and purpose. This self-awareness allows her to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It is the difference between chaos and control, between regret and conscious action. Furthermore, emotional intelligence involves empathy, the ability to understand and connect with the emotions of others. A powerful woman can sense the energy in a room, recognize unspoken needs, and respond with compassion. She does not manipulate or exploit. She aligns her interactions with integrity and awareness. Her empathy is a tool, not a weakness, and it strengthens her relationships both personally and professionally. People are naturally drawn to her because she validates their experiences while maintaining her own boundaries. Communication is another critical aspect of emotional intelligence. A powerful woman chooses her words with care. She speaks with intention, clarity, and authenticity. She knows that words have the power to build or destroy, to inspire or discourage. She avoids unnecessary conflict, gossip, or negativity, instead focusing on conversations that lead to understanding, growth, and mutual respect. Her ability to communicate effectively ensures that her presence is impactful and her influence enduring. Equally important is the skill of emotional regulation. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and provocations. A powerful woman does not allow external circumstances to dictate her emotional state. She practices patience, mindfulness, and reflection, maintaining inner equilibrium even when chaos surrounds her. This emotional stability is not passive, it is active mastery. She acknowledges her feelings, processes them, and chooses responses that align with her long-term goals and values. Resilience is deeply tied to emotional intelligence. A woman who can manage her emotions effectively is better equipped to handle adversity. She views failure not as defeat but as a lesson. She experiences disappointment without being consumed by it, and she transforms setbacks into opportunities for growth. This resilience is magnetic. It draws people toward her not just for guidance but for inspiration. Her composure becomes a lighthouse for others navigating their own storms. Moreover, emotional intelligence allows a woman to set boundaries without guilt. She understands that protecting her energy is essential to her well-being and productivity. She can say no gracefully, walk away from toxic situations, and disengage from people who drain her spirit. This ability to prioritize her emotional health over external approval is a hallmark of true power. It demonstrates self-respect, discernment, and strategic thinking. A powerful woman also leverages emotional intelligence in decision-making. She does not make choices based solely on logic or impulse. She balances reason with intuition, analysis with insight. She considers not only immediate outcomes but also long-term consequences, factoring in emotional and relational dynamics. Her decisions reflect depth, wisdom, and strategic awareness, earning her credibility and trust in all areas of life. Another aspect of emotional intelligence is adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances change constantly. A woman with high emotional intelligence can navigate uncertainty with grace. She adjusts her approach without compromising her values. She remains flexible in tactics, but steadfast in principles. This adaptability allows her to thrive in environments that would overwhelm or destabilize others. Her calm presence reassures those around her, even in moments of turbulence. Powerful women also model emotional intelligence for others. Through her actions, she teaches that emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings but understanding and channeling them productively. She inspires others to reflect, respond consciously, and cultivate their own emotional resilience. Her influence is not coercive, it is invitational, encouraging those around her to elevate themselves rather than diminish her. Ultimately, mastering emotional intelligence is not a destination but a lifelong practice. A powerful woman continually owns her awareness, empathy, regulation, and communication skills. She learns from every interaction, every challenge, and every reflection. She understands that emotions are not obstacles. They are instruments of power, guidance, and transformation. In conclusion, the third sign of a powerful woman is her mastery of emotional intelligence. It is the silent strength behind her confidence, the invisible force that stabilizes her presence, and the subtle power that shapes her interactions and decisions. She moves through life with calm, clarity, and compassion. She understands her emotions and the emotions of others, and she uses this insight to navigate challenges, build meaningful relationships, and influence the world around her positively. Remember, emotional intelligence is not about perfection, it is about conscious mastery. A woman who embodies this quality is not easily swayed by chaos, not easily provoked by conflict, and not easily shaken by life's uncertainties. Her power lies in her ability to remain composed, deliberate, and insightful. She is a force of nature, calm yet unstoppable, compassionate yet unwavering, emotionally intelligent yet fearlessly bold. To witness a woman with this level of mastery is to witness a living example of strength, wisdom, and grace. Her presence reminds us that true power is not measured by external accomplishments alone, it is measured by the depths of self-mastery, the clarity of purpose, and the courage to navigate life with emotional intelligence. In her we see the embodiment of power that is not loud but profoundly felt. A powerful woman is defined not only by her wisdom, her self-awareness, or her emotional mastery, but by her relentless determination. She possesses an inner fire that refuses to be extinguished, a commitment to her goals that transcends obstacles, and a resilience that turns setbacks into stepping stones. Determination is the engine that fuels her actions, propels her forward, and transforms her vision into reality. Without it, even the sharpest intellect, the deepest self-awareness, or the highest emotional intelligence would remain dormant potential. Relentless determination begins with clarity of purpose. A powerful woman knows what she wants, not vaguely, not hesitantly, but with precision and conviction. Her goals are aligned with her values, her talents, and her vision for her life. She does not chase what society deems important. She pursues what resonates deeply with her own sense of meaning. This clarity acts as a compass, guiding her through challenges, distractions, and the countless voices urging her to conform or settle. Once she identifies her purpose, she commits fully. Half-hearted efforts do not exist in her world. Every decision, every action, every choice is intentional, designed to move her closer to her vision. She understands that true achievement requires effort, patience, and consistency. There are no shortcuts for her, not because she is naive, but because she respects the process. She knows that mastery, growth, and transformation are forged through persistent action over time. Obstacles are inevitable, yet a determined woman views them as opportunities rather than barriers. Failure does not intimidate her, it teaches her. Criticism does not deter her, it strengthens her resolve. When doors close, she searches for windows. When paths vanish, she creates new ones. Her determination is not blind stubbornness, it is adaptive, strategic, and unwavering. She learns, recalibrates, and continues forward with renewed focus. Relentless determination also requires discipline. A powerful woman structures her life to support her ambitions. She prioritizes her time, energy, and resources with precision. She avoids distractions, eliminates toxic influences, and cultivates habits that amplify her growth. Discipline is her ally. Consistency is her weapon. She understands that the difference between ordinary and extraordinary lies in the small, consistent actions performed day after day, even when motivation wanes. Moreover, determination fuels resilience in the face of adversity. Life will test her, challenge her, and sometimes seem unfair. Yet, she refuses to succumb to despair or resignation. She rises each time she falls, stronger, wiser, and more focused. This resilience is contagious, inspiring those around her to persist, to endure, and to pursue their own paths with courage. She becomes a living testament to the power of unwavering commitment. A determined woman also embraces sacrifice. She understands that the pursuit of greatness often requires letting go of comfort, convenience, or fleeting pleasures. She makes deliberate choices, choosing long-term fulfillment over temporary satisfaction. This willingness to sacrifice without regret is a hallmark of her strength, revealing that her power is not superficial or fleeting, it is deeply rooted in purpose, discipline, and vision. Importantly, determination is balanced with patience. She does not rush recklessly, nor does she surrender to impatience when progress is slow. She understands that significant achievements require time, persistence, and careful cultivation. She celebrates incremental progress, knowing that every small step compounds into extraordinary results over time. Her patience does not weaken her, it empowers her with perspective, endurance, and insight. Relentless determination also amplifies her influence. People are drawn to her because they see her commitment, her courage, and her unwavering pursuit of purpose. Her actions inspire trust, admiration, and respect. She does not seek validation, yet she naturally commands it because others recognize the discipline, resilience, and intentionality that define her path. Her presence alone motivates others to push beyond their limits and strive for excellence. Additionally, a determined woman does not fear challenges outside her comfort zone. She embraces risk as a necessary ingredient for growth and transformation. She understands that remaining stagnant is a greater threat than failure. She actively seeks opportunities that test her skills, expand her perspective, and stretch her potential. Her determination is fearless, but it is also intelligent and strategic. She weighs risks, prepares thoroughly, and moves forward with confidence. In essence, relentless determination is the force that converts potential into power. It transforms ideas into reality, dreams into achievements, and obstacles into opportunities. It is the quiet, unyielding flame that burns within her, guiding every action, thought, and decision. Without determination, talent may be wasted, wisdom may remain theoretical, and emotional intelligence may remain untapped. With determination, a woman becomes unstoppable. In conclusion, the fourth sign of a powerful woman is her relentless determination. It is the driving force behind her accomplishments, the invisible engine that powers her every move, and the quiet strength that propels her through adversity. She is disciplined, patient, courageous, and resilient. She embraces sacrifice without regret, views challenges as opportunities, and commits fully to her purpose. Her determination inspires those around her, commands respect, and transforms her vision into reality. To witness a woman with relentless determination is to witness a force that refuses to be ignored. She does not merely survive, she thrives. She does not merely exist, she leads. She does not merely dream, she achieves. Her determination is the hallmark of her power, the signature of her greatness, and the living proof that true strength comes from unwavering commitment to oneself and one's purpose. The fifth and final sign of a powerful woman is her ability to cultivate influence and create a lasting legacy. True power extends beyond personal achievements, material success, or fleeting recognition. It is the capacity to shape the world around her, inspire others, and leave an imprint that continues long after she is gone. A powerful woman understands that influence is not about control, domination, or manipulation. It is about guidance, impact, and empowerment. Influence begins with authenticity. A woman who is authentic naturally draws attention, respect, and trust. People sense the sincerity in her words, the integrity in her actions, and the consistency of her character. Her influence is not forced or performative, it is magnetic. Others are inspired to follow, learn, and emulate, not because of obligation, but because of admiration and resonance. Authenticity allows her to stand firm in her values, make bold decisions, and communicate with clarity and conviction. A powerful woman uses her influence responsibly. She understands that every word, action, and decision has ripple effects on those around her. She chooses to lead with empathy, compassion, and wisdom, recognizing that her impact can shape minds, hearts, and communities. She does not seek to manipulate others for personal gain. Instead, she empowers, educates, and elevates, leaving those she touches stronger, wiser, and more confident. Her influence is a tool for transformation, not for self-aggrandizement. Legacy is the ultimate expression of power. A powerful woman thinks beyond the present moment. She considers the long-term effects of her actions, the values she instills in others, and the structures she leaves behind. She invests in people, ideas, and causes that will outlast her physical presence. She understands that material wealth is temporary, but the positive impact she creates through mentorship, guidance, and example is enduring. Legacy is not built for recognition, it is built for purpose. Mentorship is a key component of this influence. A powerful woman takes the time to guide others, sharing knowledge, experience, and insight. She nurtures growth, encourages self-discovery, and helps others realize their potential. She does not hoard wisdom or gatekeep opportunities. She opens doors, provides support, and fosters an environment where others can thrive. Through mentorship, her influence multiplies, creating a ripple effect that shapes communities and generations. Her influence also stems from vision. A powerful woman sees possibilities where others see limitations. She imagines a future that is brighter, fairer, and more expansive. She communicates this vision with passion and clarity, inspiring others to join her in pursuing collective goals. Her vision is not selfish. It is inclusive, uplifting, and transformative. It transcends personal gain and becomes a beacon of hope and possibility for others. Furthermore, a powerful woman cultivates influence by demonstrating courage and integrity in every circumstance. She takes stands when others remain silent. She speaks truth to power even when it is uncomfortable, risky. She aligns her actions with her values, ensuring that her influence is rooted in respect and authenticity. People follow her not because she seeks followers, but because they recognize the unwavering moral strength and consistency of her character. Building legacy requires patience and foresight. A powerful woman understands that meaningful influence is not instantaneous. It requires deliberate actions, thoughtful decisions, and consistent effort over time. She invests in projects, relationships, and initiatives that have enduring impact. She is willing to work behind the scenes, make sacrifices, and nurture growth quietly, knowing that the fruits of her labor may be realized long after her immediate involvement. This long-term perspective separates the truly powerful from the transiently successful. Additionally, she cultivates influence by embodying resilience. Life presents challenges, setbacks, and opposition, yet she remains steadfast, demonstrating that true power is not dependent on circumstances but on inner strength and perseverance. Her ability to maintain dignity, composure, and determination even in adversity inspires others to mirror her approach, creating a culture of resilience and empowerment. Through her example, she teaches that influence is rooted in action, consistency, and the courage to persist despite obstacles. Her legacy is also reflected in the principles she instills. A powerful woman lives by standards that prioritize integrity, compassion, and service. She sets an example that encourages others to adopt similar values, creating a cycle of positive influence. Her presence and actions remind others that true power is measured not by dominance or wealth, but by the depths of character, the generosity of spirit, and the positive impact left on the world. In conclusion, cultivating influence and legacy is the final sign of a powerful woman. It is the culmination of self-awareness, courage, emotional intelligence, and determination. Through authenticity, mentorship, vision, resilience, and integrity, she creates a lasting impact that transcends time. Her influence is subtle yet profound, her legacy enduring, and her presence unforgettable. To witness a woman who embodies this quality is to witness a force that shapes the present and molds the future. She is not content with fleeting recognition or temporary success. She strives to leave a mark that inspires, empowers, and uplifts others. Her influence and legacy are the ultimate expressions of her power, a testament to the depth, resilience, and authenticity that define her life. A powerful woman does not merely navigate the world, she transforms it. She does not simply exist, she leaves a legacy. She does not only achieve, she inspires. And through this she ensures that her impact is felt for generations, reminding all who encounter her that true power is measured not by what one takes but by what one gives. nurtures, and leaves behind.